Good morning, students. In the last session, we discussed about nomenclature of amines. Actually, I forgot one point in the last session. That is nomenclature of aromatic amines. Nomenclature of aromatic amines. So, after completion of this, we will discuss about isomerization or isomerism. So, nomenclature of aromatic amines. The simply known aromatic amine is aniline. The common name is aniline. So, many common names are accepted by the IUPAC. Here, aniline is common name and it is accepted by the IUPAC, and we can also call it as phenylamine. Phenylamine, as like aliphatic amines, here we can also use amine, and this in this molecule amino group is fused with phenyl group, so that the name of this compound is phenylamine. So phenylamine is a common name and aniline is also common name, and we can also call it as benzene plus amine. So here aromatic amines are classified into several types. For example, if the nitrogen is fused with or attached with two phenyl groups, or nitrogen is attached with three phenyl groups, so it is primary amine. So primary aromatic amine, it is secondary aromatic amine, and it is a tertiary aromatic amine. Now what is the name of this compound? Here nitrogen is attached to two phenyl groups and the common name is can write amine. So to this amine we can add diphenyl group, diphenylamine, and in this molecule here it is also one phenyl group and it is also one phenyl group. So here nitrogen is fused with three phenyl groups, so the name of this compound is triphenylamine. Triphenylamine. If the alkyl substituents are present on aniline nucleus, if the alkyl group is attached to benzene nucleus, or if the alkyl nucleus, that means alkyl group is attached to nitrogen nucleus. Here in this molecule the methyl group is attached to benzene nucleus, but in this molecule the methyl group is attached to nitrogen atom in the aniline molecule. The name of this compound is, here if the methyl group is absent, the name of this compound is aniline. In aniline, the ortho position is substituted by methyl group, so that the name of this compound is orthomethylaniline. Orthomethylaniline. Or we can also write as, for example, if amino group is absent, the name of this compound is, the common name of this compound is toluene. Toluene is substituted by amino group, so we can written as orthoaminotoluene, or simply call it as orthotoluidine. The common name of this compound is orthotoluidine. If methyl group is meta to the NH2, then the compound name is metatoluidine or metamethylanilene or metaaminotoline. If the methyl group is para to the NH2, that means opposite to the NH2, then the name of this compound is paratoluidine or paraaminotoline or paramethylanilene. If the methyl group is substituted on nitrogen atom in the aniline nucleus, then we can call it as an derivative of aniline. Call it as, or naming as a derivative of aniline. If the CH3 is absent, the name of this compound is aniline. In aniline, the nitrogen is substituted by methyl group, so that we can add a prefix before aniline, so that the name of this compound is N-methyl aniline. The name of this compound is N-methyl aniline. Here in this molecule, the nitrogen is attached to 2 methyl groups, so that we can add a prefix N, N dimethyl aniline. N, N dimethyl aniline. This is information about nomenclature of amines. So usually aromatic amines are the simplest aromatic amine is aniline. It is common name, but so many common names are accepted by the IUPAC. Like if the NH2 is substituted by the if the benzene ring is substituted by the NH2, then it is called as aniline and it is accepted by the IUPAC. And if the benzene ring is substituted by the CH3, the name of the compound is methyl benzene and the common name is toluene, and it is also accepted by the IUPAC. Like that, so many common names are accepted by the IUPAC. Here we have discussed about nomenclature of aromatic amines. Now we are moving to next concept, that is isomerism. Isomerism. So what is isomerism? Already in the last unit we discussed about isomerism in nitrohydrocarbons. So what is isomerism? What is isomerism? Here isomerism means two or more compounds having same molecular formula, but their structure and properties are different. What is isomerism? Two or more compounds having same molecular formula, but their structures and characteristics or properties are different. Then the two isomers are called then the two compounds are called isomers, and the phenomena is called as isomerism. Or we can also define as two different compounds having same molecular formula are called isomers, and the phenomena is called isomerism. Here we discuss about isomerism in amines. So usually we have 5 different types of structural isomerisms. Actually isomerism is divided into 2 types. One is structural isomerism or constitutional isomerism, and stereoisomerism. Again, constitutional isomerism is divided into 5 types: chain isomerism, structural isomerism, chain isomerism, functional isomerism, positional isomerism, ring chain isomerism, and metamerism. Now amines exhibits which type of isomerisms? Amines exhibits 3 types of isomerisms. One is chain isomerism. And second one is positional isomerism. And third one is metamerism. Now discuss with few examples. What is chain isomerism? Compounds having same molecular formula, but they are different in carbon chain. So this type of isomerism, that means chain isomerism, is only observed in compounds having 4 or more carbons in parent chain. Then only we observe this chain isomerism. Otherwise we does not observe chain isomerism. So it requires minimum 4 carbons. For example, if I have to write CH3, CH2, 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 NH2. The name of this compound is, what is the name of this compound? What is the common name and what is the IUPAC name of this compound? The common name is butylamine and the IUPAC name is 1-aminobutane. Here what is chain isomerism? Chain isomerism is compounds having same molecular formula, but they are different in carbon chain. So here the longest chain contains 4 carbon atoms. If you have to write CH3, CH2, NH2. Here the position of the amino group is does not change. Here the position of the amino group is does not change. Here in this molecule amino group is present at first carbon. In this molecule also amino group is present at first carbon. But here the longest chain contains 4 carbon atoms. In this molecule the longest chain contains 3 carbon atoms. So that the carbon chains are different. So these two are chain isomers. Now what is the name of this compound? Here 1, 2, 3. The longest chain contains 3 carbon atoms. What is the IUPAC name? Prop plus N, propane, and the first carbon is substituted by the NH2 and second carbon is substituted by the methyl group. That means the chain having 2 substituents. One substitution is starting with letter alphabet A and the second substitution starts with alphabet M, in which alphabet A comes first, so that 1 amino 2 methyl propane. 1 amino 2 methyl propane is the IUPAC name of that compound. IUPAC name of that compound. What is the common name of that compound? Secondary butylamine. The name of the compound is secondary butylamine is the common name of that compound. Here we can take a second example, that is butylamine. If one hydrogen is replaced by another CH3. Here the name of this compound is butylamine. Then the chain isomer of butylamine is 2 methyl 1 amino butane. In place of propane we can write butane. So 1 amino pentane is chain isomer with 1 amino 2 methyl butane. So these two are the examples of chain isomerism. So amino compounds exhibits chain isomerism. Now I am moving to next isomerism, that is positional isomerism. What is positional isomerism? Compounds having same molecular formula but they are different in the position of functional groups or substituents in the same carbon chain. The carbon chain remains unchanged but the position of the substituent or functional group is changed. Here for example, if you consider CH3, CH2, CH2, NH2. The name of this compound is 1 amino propane, or the common name is propylamine. Then it is isomer with 2 amino propane. Here the carbon chain is same. In this molecule the longest chain contains 3 carbons, and in this chain also longest chain contains in this compound also longest chain contains 3 carbons. But here the amino group is present at first carbon. In this molecule the amino group is present at second carbon. So that the substituent amino group position is changed. So that these two are positional isomers. The positional isomers, when we observe positional isomerism, compounds having 3 or more than 3 carbons in the parent chain exhibits positional isomerism. Definitely the chain contains minimum 3 carbons, then only we can observe positional isomerism. Then we can also write another example, CH3, CH2, NH2. So 1 amino butane. Here 1 amino butane is isomer of 2 amino butane. Here the longest chain contains 4 carbon atoms. In this molecule also the longest chain contains 4 carbon atoms. Amino group is present at first position, and in this molecule the amino group is present at second position. So these two isomers are positional isomers. Now the next isomerism is metamerism. Metamerism means it is due to the metamerism is due to the difference in the nature of alkyl groups which are attached to polyvalent atom. That means the nature of alkyl groups is different. For example, this isomerism is observed in secondary and tertiary amines. The name of this compound is diethylamine. The common name of this compound is diethylamine. What is the EPAC name of this compound? Ethyl aminoethane. Here in this molecule, in diethylamine, nitrogen is attached to two alkyl groups. The nature of alkyl groups is diethyl groups. Here in this molecule, the compound molecular formulas are same, but here nitrogen is fused with attached with one methyl group and one propyl group. So here the nature of alkyl groups is different. In this molecule, nitrogen is attached to two ethyl groups. In this molecule, the nitrogen is attached to one methyl and one propyl group. So these two isomers are called metamers. What is metamerism? It is due to the difference in the alkyl groups which are attached to polyvalent atom or functional group. So this is called metamerism, and these two isomers are metamers. This is about isomerism in amino compounds or amines. This is about isomerism in amines or amino compounds. Usually aliphatic amines exhibits three types of isomerism. One is chain isomerism, second one is position isomerism, and third one is metamerism. Here aromatic amines, in the last topic we discussed about nomenclature of aromatic amines. You can write orthotoluidine, metatoluidine and paratoluidine. So these three isomers are position isomers because the position of these substituents are different. Here the CH3 and NH2 are ortho to each other, that means 1, 2 each other. In this molecule CH3 and NH2 are 1, 3 each other. Here in this molecule CH3 and NH2 are 1, 4 to each other. So that these three isomers are positional isomers. These three isomers are also positional isomers. So usually aliphatic amines exhibits three types of isomerism. In aromatic amines we can observe positional isomerism. In aliphatic isomerism we can observe three types of isomerism. In aliphatic compounds, in aliphatic amines we can observe three types of isomerism, and aromatic amines exhibits positional isomerism. So this is about isomerism. Now I am moving to next topic that is very, very important, that is preparation of amines. How can we prepare amines? Here in this preparation methods we concentrated on both the preparation of aliphatic amines and preparation of aromatic amines. Here we concentrated on both aliphatic amines and aromatic amines. Here we have so many different methods for preparation of amines, but here I am trying to explain most important methods to prepare amines. In this session we have completed minimum 2 preparation methods for preparation of amines. In the next session we continue that. Preparation of amines. Preparation of amines. Aliphatic and aromatic amines. The first and most important method is for preparation of amines, ammonolysis. Ammonolysis is the most important method to prepare aliphatic amines. Aliphatic amines. In this ammonolysis method, alkyl halides are treated with alcoholic or aqueous solution of ammonia at 100 degrees centigrade in a solute tube. How can we get aliphatic amines? In ammonolysis, alkyl halides are treated with aqueous or alcoholic ammonia at 100 degrees centigrade in a solute tube, then we can get amines. But here we have different types of amines. What are they? primary amines, secondary amines and tertiary amines. The main drawback of this method is we can get mixture of amines. That means in this method we can get primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary ammonium salts. Let us see how it can occur. How it can occur. The reaction between alkyl halide and ammonia. In the first step, here the alkyl halide is acts as an electrophile. That means it loses halide ion. Then the carbon gets a positive charge. The alkyl group gets a positive charge. Here in this reaction the ammonia is acts as a nucleophile. Here the ammonia acts as a nucleophile because of the presence of lone pair of electrons. In the first step, the halogen from alkyl halide migrates and the lone pair of electrons present on nitrogen is attacked on carbocation. Then we can get RNH2. Due to the donation of lone pair of electrons, nitrogen gets a positive charge and the electrons are attracted from hydrogen and hydrogen is eliminated as a H+. We can get primary amine. The reaction does not stop here. This primary amine again reacts with another mole of alkyl halide. Then the reaction mechanism is same like that. We get secondary amine. Again this secondary amine has one hydrogen atom, again is reacted with another mole of alkyl halide to produce tertiary amine. Again this tertiary amine is reacts with another mole of alkyl halide, it gets quaternary ammonium salts. Here halogen cleaves from the molecule and lone pair of electrons are attacked on carbocation. Here the lone pair of electrons on nitrogen is attacked on alkyl carbon, so that the nitrogen gets positive charge. There is no loss of hydrogens. Here hydrogens are absent, so that nitrogen carries a positive charge. In ammonolysis method, alkyl halide is reacted with ammonia at 100 degrees centigrade, then it leads to formation of primary amine, secondary amine and it is tertiary amine. And it is quaternary ammonium salt. The main drawback is we get a mixture of products. We have to use excess of alkyl halide. If we have to use excess of alkyl halide, then the reaction occur like this. If we have to use excess of ammonia, if excess of ammonia is used in the chemical reaction, then primary amine is the main product. Primary amine is the main product or secondary amine may be get, but the reaction does not proceed through to quaternary ammonium salts. But if we have to take excess of alkyl halide, then the final product is quaternary ammonium salts. That means if we have to take excess of alkyl halide, the final product is quaternary ammonium salt. If we have to take excess of ammonia, then we can get primary or secondary amine as a main product or major product. Here we have to take in this reaction alkyl halides. Here we have different types of alkyl halides. When the chemical reaction takes very fastly, that means which alkyl halides react fastly with ammonia molecule. Here we have different types of alkyl halides. That means alkyl iodide, alkyl bromide, alkyl chloride and alkyl fluoride. Here we have 4 different types of alkyl halides. So which alkyl halide is more reactive in alkyl halide reaction? With ammonia. Alkyl iodide is more reactive than alkyl bromide, and alkyl bromide is more reactive than alkyl chloride, and alkyl chloride is more reactive than alkyl fluoride, because iodide is a good leaving group. Iodide is a good leaving group. Here the chemical reaction is nothing but nucleophilic substitution reaction. Which type of reaction can occur in this step? Nucleophilic substitution. Here in this step, halogen as X minus, that means nucleophile is migrated and another nucleophile is reacts with carbocation. In second year, third semester, you studied about nucleophilic substitutions, that means SN1 reaction and SN2 reaction. So here we can observe nucleophilic substitution reactions, but we cannot get an idea about, if we have any idea about SN1 reaction and SN2 reaction. So which reactant undergo SN1 and which reactant undergo SN2, let us discuss. Here alkyl iodide, alkyl bromide, alkyl chloride and alkyl chloride. So alkyl iodide is more reactive than alkyl bromide and alkyl bromide is more reactive than alkyl chloride and alkyl chloride is more reactive than alkyl fluoride. Here again alkyl iodide based on halogen, alkyl iodides are classified into 4 types. Based on carbon chain, nature of carbon chain, alkyl iodides are again classified into 3 types. Alkyl iodide classified into 3 types, alkyl bromides, alkyl chlorides or alkyl fluorides. That means alkyl halides are classified into 3 types based on nature of carbon chain. Here alkyl halides are primary alkyl halides, secondary alkyl halides and tertiary alkyl halides. That means if the CH3, CH2 is attached to halogen, or CH3 is attached to halogen, or tertiary betyl group is attached to halogen. Here it is primary, it is secondary alkyl halide, it is tertiary alkyl halide. It is primary alkyl halide, secondary alkyl halide, it is tertiary alkyl halide. So which alkyl halide is more reactive? Which alkyl halide is more reactive? So the reactivity is actually the reaction mechanism. That means here the chemical reaction may follow SN1 reaction mechanism or SN2 reaction mechanism, because here it follows nucleophilic substitution reaction. Nucleophilic substitution reaction mechanism is divided into 2 types. Either it may be proceeds SN1 mechanism or SN2 reaction mechanism. If any reaction proceeds SN1 or SN2, it depends upon the reaction, that means nature of reactant. Here if you have to take tertiary alkyl halide, if you have to take tertiary alkyl halide, then the chemical reaction proceeds SN1 reaction mechanism. If you have to consider primary alkyl halide, then the reaction proceeds SN2 reaction mechanism. If you have to take secondary alkyl halide proceeds through SN1 and SN2. If it proceeds SN1, then it depends upon the concentration of the reactant or other properties, that means solvent character and concentration of the nucleophile decides the reaction mechanism of secondary alkyl halides. So usually the reactivity of alkyl halide in SN1, tertiary greater than, secondary greater than primary. In SN2 primary greater than, secondary greater than tertiary. This is the reactivity order. That means the rate of reaction is more for tertiary if the chemical reaction proceeds through SN1. The reactivity of primary alkyl halide is more in SN2 reaction mechanism. Here what is the main drawback of ammonolysis reaction? The main drawback of ammonolysis reaction is we can get a mixture of products. That means we can get primary amines along with secondary. Again secondary amines are reacted with another mole of alkyl halide, then we can get tertiary amines. Tertiary amines are again reacted with another mole of alkyl iodide. We can get quaternary amino salts, so that we can get a mixture of products. So due to that mixture of products, the desired product, for example, if you have to prepare primary amines, but along with primary amines we can get secondary amines and tertiary amines and quaternary ammonium salts. So how can we reduce this drawback? By using the excess of ammonia, we can get primary amines. If we have to use excess of ammonia, then we can get excess of primary ammonia product. The yield of the quaternary amino salt is decreases. This is about ammonolysis reaction. So by using this ammonolysis reaction, we can prepare amines. If we take some examples, in place of R, if we take CH3 or C2H5, CH3 or C2H5, CH3, CH2, that means ethyl halide is on ammonolysis, then we can get ethylamine plus diethylamine and triethylamine. In this ammonosis reaction, by using this ammonosis reaction, we can prepare only aliphatic amines. Aliphatic amines. We does not prepare aromatic. We does not prepare aromatic amines. So aromatic amines are not. Aromatic amines are does not prepared by using ammonosis reaction. Why aromatic amines are does not prepared by using ammonosis reaction? Let us discuss. Here the chemical reactants are alkyl halides with ammonia. If you have to prepare aliphatic amine, then I take in place of R, either it may be methyl, ethyl, propyl or butyl, isobutyl, like that. If you have to prepare aromatic amine in place of R, I definitely take aromatic system, that is benzene. Here aryl halide is reacts with ammonia. C is not possible because the lone pair of electrons present on halogen atom are involved in resonance with adjacent benzene nucleus. So due to that, the bond between halogen and carbon is converted into a single bond to double bond. So that here the formed negative charge is again involved in resonance with adjacent double bond. Then this carbon carries negative charge. Again the negatively charged carbon is resonance stabilized by the adjacent carbon. So the lone pair of electrons present on halogen atom is undergo resonance with adjacent benzene ring. So aryl halides does not undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction. Here in aliphatic amines, here one nucleophile is migrated from reactant and another nucleophile is reacted with reactant molecule or carbocation. But here it is not possible to react with ammonia because the single bond is converted into double bond. So that aryl halides does not involves in nucleophilic substitution reaction. Aryl halides does not involves in nucleophilic substitution reaction. That is why by using ammonosis reaction we cannot prepare aromatic amines. So this ammonosis reaction is useful for only for the preparation of aromatic amines. Aliphatic amines. So aliphatic amines are prepared by using ammonolysis method, but aromatic amines are not prepared by using ammonolysis method. Now we are moving to second method, that is reduction. By using reduction, this reduction reaction is discussed in last unit, that means chemical properties of nitrohydrocarbon. This reaction is discussed at chemical properties of nitrohydrocarbons. So usually nitrohydrocarbons is on reduction reaction, we can get amines. Usually nitrohydrocarbons is on reduction with we can get amines. So here we have to use different types of reducing reagent. RNO2. If nitrohydrocarbon is on treatment with tin in concentrated HCl, it is called chemical reduction. If we have to use H2 in platinum or palladium or nickel, then it is called a catalytic reduction. If we have to use lithium aluminum hydride, then it is called hydrate transfer reducing reagent. I am already discussed in that unit. Reduction reactions are simply classified into three types based on nature of hydrogen atom involved in that reduction. What is reduction? Reduction means addition of hydrogens or addition of electrons or addition of removal of oxygens. So based on the based on the definition, addition of hydrogens, reduction reactions are classified into simply T types. That means in reduction reaction, hydrogen is added as a H plus, or in addition reaction, hydrogen is added as a H minus. In addition reaction, the hydrogen is added as a hydrogen atom. Here, if you have to use tin in HCl, then we can get R and H2. In all the reduction reagents produces amines. But here the hydrogen is added as H plus because the chemical reaction carried out in the presence of acidic condition. Here the chemical reaction is carried out in the presence of surface of the metal. The metal surface is passed with H2 gas, so that here hydrogen is added as a hydrogen atom. Here in this lithium aluminum hydride, the hydrogen is added as a H minus to NO2, so that the three reduction reactions are different, but the final product is same. So that reduction reaction, based on or by using this reduction reaction, we can produce aromatic amines and aliphatic amines. How can we get aliphatic amines and how can we get aromatic amines? If in place of R, if I take nitromethane is on reduction reaction with any reagent, we can get CH3NH2. So I can get aliphatic amine. If in place of R, I can take benzene ring. So the name of NO2. Nitrobenzene is on reduction with either lithium aluminum hydride or H2 palladium platinum or tin HCl. Then I can get aniline. So aniline is nothing but aromatic amine. But here we can get only primary amines. Because nitrohydrocarbon is on reduction reaction with any reagent, whether it may be tin HCl or H2 platinum or lithium aluminum hydride, we can get only primary amines. So in the last method, ammonolysis reaction, by using ammonolysis reaction, we cannot prepare aromatic amines. But here, by using this reduction reaction, we can prepare both aliphatic amines and aliphatic amines and aromatic amines. Aliphatic amines and aromatic amines are prepared, but by using ammonolysis reaction we can only prepare aliphatic amines. This is about reduction method. By using reduction method we can prepare amines. Now we are moving to next method, that is also a reduction reaction, but in that reduction reaction we can take amides. Here in this reaction we can take nitrohydrocarbons. In this method, nitrohydrocarbons to amines. In the next method, reduction of amides. So amides is on reduction reaction. We can get amines. What is mean by amide? Amide is represented as RC double bonded O NH2. Again, here we have a multiple bond system, so that we can reduce this multiple bond system by using three different reducing reagents. What are they? By using lithium aluminum hydride, or by using tin in HCl, or by using sodium in ethyl alcohol. So in reduction reaction, hydrogens are added to the molecule. Here if we have to use lithium aluminum hydride, the hydrogen is added as a H minus, then we can get RCH2NH2. If we have to use platinum in H2, then we can also get RCH2NH2. Metal in acidic medium condition can get a primary amine. Here the hydrogen is added as H minus, here the hydrogen is added as a hydrogen atom. Here in this reaction hydrogen is added as a H plus. By using this method also, that means the reactant is different but the chemical reagents are same. In last reaction, nitrohydrocarbons are reduced by using tin Cl or H2 platinum or lithium aluminum hydride, then we can get primary amines. In this reaction, amides are reduced by using lithium aluminum hydride or H2 platinum or sodium ethyl alcohol, we can get primary amines. In this method also, we can get only primary amines. In this method also, we can get primary amines. If in place of R, we consider ethyl group CH3, CH2, N double bonded O, CH2. What is the name of this compound? In longest chain we have 3 carbons, so that root word is prop, and in this molecule carbon-carbon double bonds or triple bonds are absent, so that you can write as a primary suffix as ane, so propane plus here the functional group is amide. In IUPAC nomenclature, amide is written as an amide, so the compound name is propanamide. So propanamide is a reduction reaction. We can get 1 amino propane. So in place of R, we consider benzene nucleus. The name of this compound is benzamide. Benzamide is on reduction reaction. By using any one, you can get benzene is attached to CH2 and NH2, phenyl aminomethane. So the name of the compound is phenyl aminomethane. So we can get aromatic amine. Here we can get another aromatic amine. So this is about reduction of amides. So we have remaining 4 methods. Actually, for preparation of aromatic amines, we have totally 6 methods. In this session, I discussed about 3 methods. In the next session, we are going to discuss about remaining 3 preparation methods and followed by physical properties. In the next session, we discussed about remaining preparation methods and physical properties of amines. Thank you.